The Trump administration announced this week that it is threatening to ban institutional investors from buying single-family homes. Large institutional investors like BlackRock, JP Morgan Chase, and other banks have increasingly bought up family homes all across the nation. According to the Peoria Association of Realtors, Illinois is not one of the top states where this is happening, but this could still impact Central Illinois.
Help them understand what sort of percentage of our real estate market those institutional investors hold, and then come up with a plan to incentivize those investors to make those homes available to general owner-occupied buyers.
The president plans to outline additional housing and affordability proposals in the coming weeks.